Thank you, Ryan, for joining us today. I appreciate you. Appreciate you being here.
Of course, thanks for having me.
Today, of course, we're here to talk about you guys' new season, and it sounds like you got a doozy waiting for us.
It's a lot of crazy.
We were kind of talking earlier about some of the stuff you have going on, but
Yeah.
before we get too far in that, kind of introduce yourself and kind of tell us your role in the organization and a little bit about Serenbe.
Cool, yeah. So my name is Ryan. I'm the Associate Artistic Director at Serenbe Playhouse. So I'm kind of help Brian with his vision and bring it all to life, all of the crazy, wonderful ideas in his head. I help make a reality for him. And so Serenbe Playhouse, we're located just 20 minutes south of the airport in the town of Serenbe itself. And we are an exclusively outdoor site-specific theater company. So basically all of our shows are outdoors and they take place in different locations. So we get to build a theater from the ground up every time we do a show. So we have no rules, which is kind of awesome, and no walls.
Yeah, it sounds kind of hard to imagine, but once you get there, I mean, you guys do a great job of putting together really unique shows. Kind of give some people some of the ideas, like some of these unique kind of shows you put together, and some crazy things you've done with the shows in the past.
Yeah, we've done insane stuff. We always say too, we call our shows actually experiences. So we want the audience to become fully immersed from the second they park their car till we put them back in their car and they drive off. So we really try and create a full experience and a whole world around the show that we're doing. So we've done a bunch of crazy stuff. The most famous one that everyone loves to talk about is we landed a helicopter for Miss Saigon, which it's never ceases to amaze me, the amount of people that have heard of that production. So that's always so cool. But then we've done a ton of stuff. We rented a full fair for Carousel that people could come experience. We did Grease with an LED screen, so it felt like you were coming into a drive-in movie of the 50s with like vintage cars in the front row and everything. And then we did Cabaret, and we created a full underground Kit Kat club hidden in the woods that people got to come to every night. So we do absolutely insane things, but that's kind of what people talk about, because it's what no one else is really doing.
Yeah, you're right. You guys, no one else is doing what you guys are doing, and we are very appreciative in the community for having you to produce those kind of plays. So this year, you guys are celebrating your ninth season.
Yeah, 9 years.
Congratulations to you.
Thanks. We're still babies, it feels like. We're still young.
And like babies, and like the youth, you guys are always experimenting and trying to push the envelope on a lot of productions. So
Yes.
This year, I'm assuming to be no different. Kind of tell me about your thinking behind the shows that you put together this year.
Yeah, well, we always try and theme our shows. So we put together a full season that really makes sense around a common theme. So this year, our word is Voyage. So basically, last year was a rebellion, and after the rebellion, we're taking to the seas and to the water. So all of our shows are water themed, and we're going to take it a step further than that. They're actually all on some form of water in one way or another. So we'll kick off with Disney's The Little Mermaid, which will be on a lake. Then we do Peter Pan, and it's a brand new adaptation with this really cool playwright from LA. So it'll kind of tell the story of what happens after the story that we all know and take place on an abandoned pirate ship near a lake as well. And then, of course, the big musical that I'm sure will become our new helicopter is Titanic, and we're going to be sinking a boat every single night into the lake. So we'll have that craziness going on, and then we'll transition into Seagull, and we're going to do a really cool, fresh new adaptation, a lot of gender bending, like Natasha Pierre-esque, also by a lake. So we have 4 water-themed shows that I think at most theaters would feel really random together, but with this common theme, kind of really all blend nice together.
Now I know you guys are, like you said, you guys are production are in the elements basically outside. So as a patron, do I need to wear a poncho since it's going to be near the lake?
That's, actually, we haven't thought about that, but now I want to add splash zones to all of these shows. No ponchos will be required. The audience will get to stay dry. Our actors will have no such luck.
Now, we kind of talked a little bit before we kind of got on air about some of the things in the production wise that you're going to do, in particular with your 2 big shows, Little Mermaid and the Titanic the musical. So kind of give me an idea of what you guys doing stage wise to kind of really kind of, make it a really interesting experience?
Yeah, so Mermaid, actually, we're really excited about. It's actually going to be our greenest show to date. So the entire set and some of the costumes and stuff are actually going to be made completely out of recycled materials. And we launched a whole campaign for it called Trash to Treasure. So basically, anyone in the Atlanta area can help us build Ariel's Grotto. And we have a site in Serenbe, a shipping container where you can drop off all your recyclables and that kind of stuff. And our amazing production team and designers are going to transform all of this trash into a gorgeous set. And it's kind of our way of using a tale and story that everyone knows and loves, and also, talking about some of the crazy things going on in our environment today. So we're really trying to use it as a nice way to talk about the issues. So it's really exciting, and that's kind of what we're doing for that one. And then Titanic will be putting our actors out in the middle of a lake, and idea of a boat will be constructed out there, and when they hit that iceberg, it'll go down. So our actors will be swimming in the water and hopefully paying tribute in a really nice way to this story that everyone knows and has had a million different adaptations of. So it's kind of our little stamp on a really crazy, important piece of history.
Wow. Having a set on the lake, that has to be a first, right?
I would look. I have not done all of my homework, but I feel pretty good saying we might be the first production of Titanic on the water. I mean, who knows? Let's just say it. If we say it, it's true, right?
That's right.
Okay, great.
So, what does it take to make something like that happen? I mean, that sounds like it's extremely challenging. You guys have scuba guys, training the actors, or how's that work?
Yeah, so our production manager, Joel, who's incredible, has been tasked with basically figuring out how to build sets on the water this year. And he's been working with a lot of people. We have designers that, have been coming in and learning all of that. And then we've been working with a bunch of different companies, figuring out how you build and put a bunch of stable things in the water, a bunch of engineers and all of that to make sure everything is safe and ready to go. And then, we'll have to figure out those conversations we have with actors because, it's completely different elements than anyone's used to. Even for us, it's a brand new element. So, how do we figure all that out? And we're going to make it happen. We're going to figure it all out.
I was going to ask what your biggest challenge is in producing these shows. And I guess that has to be one of them, right?
That's one of them. Honestly, I always say our biggest competition is Mother Nature. We can plan and we can do whatever we want, but sometimes she takes over. So we just always have to embrace that. And that's one of the best parts about our show. I always remember there was one moment in Carousel where one of the characters dies, and there's lyrics about how the skies opened up and it rained. And then eventually the lyrics say how it cleared. And one night it literally started raining on cue and then cleared on cue, to the point where audience after the show was like, that is so insane that you rigged it to rain. And we were like, no, we didn't. So yeah, Mother Nature is sometimes our biggest competition, but also our best friend.
Now, for a lot of these productions, you said they are on the water. And we still haven't talked about two of your staple shows as well. But for your new shows that you're doing, how is the audience experience as far? Are the audience also, will they be sitting on in the water? Will you have seating there, or is it kind of, how do you guys?
Well, now I want to start selling boat seating. I didn't think of that, but that's kind of ingenious. No, they'll be on land. But really close to the water. I mean, the audiences are going to be right on top of it. Because again, with creating these experiences, we never want to create a world where it's like, here's our show and here's our audience, and they're separated. They're totally in it. So they'll be close to the water, but as of now, we're not putting them on it. But maybe that's not a bad plan.
Mm-hmm. Now, I know you also mentioned Peter Pan. Are you guys going to be doing some of the high flying acrobatics with that as well, or is that what are you going to do to kind of relate that to the water?
Yeah, well, I'm sure there's going to be a bunch of jumping around and crazy, especially, we're coming off of Robin Hood this year, which had everyone in zip lines. So I'm sure that there will be some high flying involved. But basically, we're starting the tale after the story that we all know. So it'll be after the Lost Boys and stuff have taken over the pirate ship, like you see at the end of the classic tale. So they're going to be living on this abandoned pirate ship. And then, of course, Hook comes back for his revenge. So that's kind of the story that we're looking at. And it's really cool because we get to do our own thing and tell our own story and have a brand new tale that the entire family can love. So it's really cool.
Now, you guys creating these really unique sets. Like, what do you do afterwards? Do you just have them sitting in a old set graveyard somewhere, and people can come?
Like, isn't there something in Vegas? It's like those neon sign graveyard thing. Maybe we should start that. No, actually, we pride ourselves on being as green as humanly possible. So a lot of those sets they come down and then get reused in many different ways throughout the season. That way we're constantly, being as green and environmentally friendly as possible. We have a mission that we always restore the space to the exact way that we found it.
Mm-hmm. So your footprint in these, when you're designing the set, that goes into mind as far as the, what are you going to do afterwards? Is that kind of how that works?
All of that goes into it, yeah. We want to make sure that we leave the space exactly as we found it. And what's kind of cool is whenever my family comes into town, I'll like take them to somewhere where they've seen a show already, and it just looks completely different. They have no idea that they even saw an entire show there. So it's kind of cool. It really shows that we return everything back to the way we found it.
Mm-hmm. Kind of give me an idea. I just want to kind of get a little sense of behind the curtains on this. How do you guys scout the location? How do you know which is a good location for each type of production?
It really depends. Sometimes we have a location that Brian has been like dying to use. It's like a great spot. And so we, hold on to it and wait until we have a show title that comes up that's the perfect fit, and we put it in there. And then other times we know that we have a show that we love, and then we find an environment that matches the show. So it really depends on the season and everything. This year was a little bit easier for us because every site needed to be near water. So it took that checklist from 1,000 possibilities to like 10. So that was nice. Normally we don't have that. But yeah, it really depends on the show. Will depend on how the space gets picked.
And I know you guys like to say you operate out of Serenbe. For those who may not be familiar with it, kind of describe the Serenbe concept in general, because they probably wonder how you're getting all this this land to be able to pull off these types of projects. Give me an overview of Serenbe.
Totally, yeah. Serenbe is a community that's focused on, green living and healthy environments. And so it's this little town that popped up quite a few years ago now. It's South Atlanta. And so and they have a very big focus on the arts. And so that's kind of how it all came to be, having a theater company located in this town. Yeah, they're incredible. And we can't do what we do without them and their support. So the community has always been great, and its founders have been nothing but amazing to us. So it's been really great.
Yeah, so it's like a small, self-contained little, like you said, little town. Has its own restaurants and little shops.
Yeah, there's shops, restaurants, all of it. There's a little school there that's getting ready to expand. There's a whole bunch. And, of course, we always encourage our patrons to come in, stay at the hotel that's there, make a weekend of it, go horseback riding, walk the trails. You can really create an entire experience outside of just the experience you get at the Playhouse. There's always something going on. So it's nice. It's definitely a destination.
So while people there, they can not only check out the production, but they all can kind of hang out and enjoy the surroundings in the town there, right?
Yeah, go shop, check out some of the houses that are on the market, go get a fabulous meal. You can kind of do it all and really create a fun afternoon or evening when you're there with us.
All right, so now we are ready to watch this great season you guys have coming up. So again, we thank you for joining us. And for those who are interested in getting tickets to these shows, tell us how we can do so.
So just visit our website, serenbeplayhouse.com. Everything is there. Also, if you go to any of the forms of social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, any of it, we're there, and we'll connect you right away to how to get tickets. So you can come out and join us this year. Come on the Voyage, set sail. It'll be fun.
And the first show is when again?
It's Little Mermaid, and it opens March 28th. So right around the corner.
Yeah, it comes fast.
Yeah, it does. We start rehearsal in like 2 weeks, so it's crazy.
All right. Well, thank you, Ryan. I appreciate it again. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time.
Awesome. Thank you for having me.